is found. He is my light, my strength, my song, this cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and the storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still, when striving cease, my comforting, my all in all. Here in the love of Christ I stand. Well, what's up, Heritage? And anybody else who's jumping in that maybe has never heard of Heritage or been to Heritage Church of the Nazarene before. For those of you that do know me, or those of you who don't, my name is Zach Carpenter. I'm the worship pastor at Heritage Church of the Nazarene in Circleville, Ohio. And some of you that do know me, you're scratching your head thinking, did he just sing a little bit? Yes, I've been been pushing myself, especially in these days. But I just felt like God was challenging me to do this morning, not because it's super comfortable or easy right now. I'm still trying to push through. As you can tell, I don't have that much projection still. But I felt like it's a choice that God wanted me to make to hopefully encourage you today to make some good and maybe even tougher choices in the days ahead. I just felt like I was led to this song. Somebody shared a really cool video with me on Facebook Messenger, and I watched it, and they were singing this song, and they did it way more beautifully and smooth and powerfully than I just did. But I was just thinking about the words in this time, and we need foundation, a foundation in these shaky times. And I know we know this, but it's easy in this really weird and different schedule to not make those tougher choices in this kind of flux time where it's kind of like, oh, maybe I could do this now, maybe not, because my schedule's different. But my mind was taken to a couple of really important things, at least for me and my family, and I hope this encourages you and your family. First of all, being thankful today, and I've found myself thankful for God and who He is, what He's done in my life, thankful for this time with my girls, with my wife and my daughter, that has been really fun and special. We've had a lot of laughs. Yes, we have slept a little bit more in the last couple of weeks, and thankful for that. Not mad about that one bit. But found myself thankful for you and how God connected me and my family with you. So many amazing and wonderful people that have been loving and encouraging to us in this time of being physically distanced, but we don't have to be disconnected. And I want to say in that, a real quick shout out to those who are working on the front lines for our families, who are working in the supply chain, and to say, we love and appreciate you and what you are doing, and we recognize your sacrifice and commitment that you're making to us to keep us fed and keep the lights on and keep the water running and garbage running, and man, just so many things that we don't think about on a regular everyday basis. But we want to say thank you, and we are praying for you and your families, praying for protection and peace over you in this time. And we want you to know that we're doing our best to honor you by honoring these guidelines and requests and honestly restrictions from our state and federal government to do our best to help you. And as everybody's saying, flatten this curve, because we want this to be gone. And so we just say thank you. We don't take it lightly at all, what you're doing for us and for our families. But again, back to these thoughts of being thankful, but thinking about our schedules and our routine and discipline. And just a couple of things real quick. I want to quote the great philosopher, Dave Gray, Heritage Nazarene youth pastor, and a great friend and wonderful man of God, loving man of God. He said, you know what God rewards discipline with? More discipline. So in this question mark time period in our lives, in all of our lives, are you spending time trying to be disciplined? Have you kind of made a schedule for the day? Our family has tried that, and some days we do that schedule okay, and other days that schedule is just a schedule that's out there. And so I get it. It's tougher some days than others. But I've heard a number of people say this, but it's really been sinking in. It's not just about prioritizing your schedule, but about scheduling your priorities. Let me say that again. Not just about prioritizing your schedule, but scheduling your priorities. Are you doing that in this time? Are you taking time with God in the Bible and the Word in some encouraging devotionals and all the apps that are out there? Are you taking a walk in this time where, yes, you can do that and still be physically, distanced? Are you taking time to play with your kids if you have kids and your family and being intentional there? What are you doing in this time to be intentional about this time that many of us have been given, this extra time in our schedules? I just want to challenge you to really do that, to schedule your priorities right now. In the Old Testament, the Old Covenant of God, that many Jewish people would have been very familiar with and still are to this day, and the old law of God. And this is all before Jesus, but some wonderful verses and reminders for me and my family in this time. And I just want to share those with you real quick. In verse 18 of chapter 11, the word of God comes to us this way. Fix these words of mine in your hearts and minds. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Teach them to your children, talking about them when you sit at home. Got a little extra time there. And when you walk along the road, been doing that a little bit. When you lie down and when you get up. And I know from some of you have been taking a few more naps lately, and you should take advantage of that. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates. And I was just thinking about these verses. Are we really taking advantage of this time right now? Time to focus on God, time to focus on others, on each other, on encouraging others, not be so glued to our devices and to the news, but be glued to the devices of God and the good news in this time. So I just want to encourage you right now, share the good news with the people that you're connected with. Share the good news with the circles that God has put you in, even in these physically distanced days. Don't allow them to be disconnected days. Again, just want you to know that we love you. We appreciate you. Again, those who are fighting for us, we thank you and appreciate you. We're doing our best to honor you. But at this time, as Christ alone is the only real foundation in life, let's make that a reality and a priority in these shaky times. Know that you're loved. Know that we're thinking about and praying for you. And we cannot wait until the day when we get to physically meet again to lift up the God who is with us during all of this. Thanks again.